Vega ready to get underway. We'll see if Alliance takes it 2-0 or if Vega can take us to an ace match. We've got Purge and Mock to take it away.
Vega Squadron's turn to
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Captain's Draft 3.0
Alliance's
presented by
turn to
PIA,
bat.
as well as brought to you by Dota Cinema and Moonduck TV. We are here in our upper bracket first series, Vega Squadron versus Alliance in a best-of-3 series.
Vega
Vega
Squadron's
taking the
turn
first
to
game. They are now up 1-0
Alliance's
after an
turn to
impressive
bat.
display from no one on the Magnus, Solo playing the Enchantress, and really just everybody overall. It was just an impressive display of dominance in that first game from Vega Purge.
Yeah, it was really good. There's a couple of heroes that I would love to see. I'm down for a Wraith King. I feel like Legion Commander this game. It's like I'm playing pubs while watching pro games. I'm like, yeah, I'd like to see these guys play a bunch of different heroes. Like, it's so much fun to watch.
Dude, the
I love
thing too with that, like, whenever there's so many times where I feel like I'll cast a game and I'm just like, I really want to play that hero. And like, he played an amazing like TA or something like that. And then I'll just try to play TA in like the next game I play and I get absolutely freaking destroyed. I'm like, why do I play this game?
Why is that, Mont? Why are you getting destroyed?
I don't know. It could be, the 4K MMR that I'm at. It could be just I'm not a good player of Dota 2. It could just be the fact that maybe I shouldn't be playing TA. Maybe that's not my hero.
So you're not no one, is that what you're trying to say?
Right, exactly.
Okay.
I wish I was no one to a certain extent.
Don't worry.
Good jokes, everybody. Good stuff. We're going to be here all day.
All right, so there's a lot of very evasive heroes in the pool, and that's kind of why I pointed out Legion Commander. There's an Anti-Mage, there's an Ember Spirit. Heroes like that are pretty good for Legion Commander. There's also a Death Prophet in the pool. I think Death Prophet will get picked 100% if she isn't banned in the next 2 picks. But a lot of other good heroes. Wisp, aka IO, Faces Void, Enchantress,
I've seen a lot
Vengeful
of Sven
Spirit.
recently, too. I think it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, even in regular games, right? It's not even like Captain's Draft.
Yeah.
People are like, yeah, I actually just genuinely like Sven.
It's like the new build, like Helm of the Dom, SNY, or something like that.
He just farms really fast. The first person I saw get SNY on Sven was actually MVP Phoenix.
Really?
They played it a couple times against us when we were in Korea, and they comboed it with Wisp. It was actually very
They're
good.
trendsetters, man.
They really are. They were playing like Warlock mid for a real... They were like playing Warlock carry for so long, and they would just like 5-man real early, and we'd get crapped on. That was like, those are the bad days, man.
It was MVP having an impressive display of what they can actually pull out in the draft, and I feel like a lot of teams are starting to kind of get into that as well.
They used to pick Death Prophet before it's popular too. Well, actually, we did it first, but then they took it from us.
Oh, wow, okay, so you're saying Zephyr's the one that's...
we did it mid, they did it carry, and they played it way better than us, so... It's theirs. It's their hero.
We'll all remember the heydays of Zephyr and how good you guys used to be
for
back in
2 months.
2 months, yeah.
Woo.
And then the Korean team is caught up, and I'm like, wow, they're actually... I remember the old days when, like, the first season of... and then the next Summer League came out, and everybody was just like, man, we're going to draft me, but we're going to, like, send a mid or something like that to see how well this works out. I'm like, what's happening? I love Korean Dota, man.
It was pretty fun to watch. Another fixture of Korean Dota, the Blade Mail Nature's Prophet. That's where it first came out. And everybody flamed it, and then all of a sudden it hit the pro scene eventually, and they're like, yeah, this is a really great build.
What about the 3 null tally build of Nature's Prophet?
Yeah,
like
those
3 null tally into Blade Mill.
Yeah, dude.
That's the same thing. Okay. Well, here we go. We got the Dark Suit picked up by Vega, and Puck and Daff are coming out from Alliance.
So Death Prophet AA got banned. Alliance clearly banned AA because they wanted healing heroes. Will they grab other ones? I don't really see. I guess they could grab Necro. They actually do pick Necrophos. They did it the other match. So I think they might be doing something like a Dazzle Necro strat, which is why they banned AA. Because they said, okay, I think we can get the strat that we want. We'll ban the hero that counters it. We can play Necro versus Darkseer now.
Like, I mean, there's plenty of healing heroes that besides Necro, Tramp Protector, the Legion Commander with Press the Attack to a certain extent. I feel like this is an okay strat coming out from if they really want to go for it. But Vega will go for the Bounty Hunter, which is, it could be a huge nuisance in this game.
Especially with Darkseer, man. They can dual offlane this like very easily. Bounty Hunter can just show up in the lane. Iron Shell, he harasses, and then he leaves again, and you don't really know where he is at any point in time. So I think Bounty Hunter is great with Darkseer. He's not that great against killing Puck, but he does have some good disables there. Bane as well can also set up for good Puck kills. If Puck's ever out of position, you just grip him.
Right.
So that can be a really good solution too.
The problem I have with Bane in this situation is oftentimes you'll be Fiends gripping. If they're not going for the Puck, if they're going for somebody else, the Puck comes in and waiting rips you. And like, I guess my ultimate's done now.
That's a really good point.
That's just not working anymore.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Or his ultimate. It's either Dream Coil or Waning Ring.
Right, exactly.
It's going to be a good solution.
We'll wait and see what else is in this pool here. I mean, there's like Ember Spirit. There's a couple of good carries here.
Spectre.
Ursa's been very popular recently too, with the whole, Blink Mask Madness, which Arteezy is really loving, I think.
I don't think Ursa is a tier 1 carry at all.
No?
He just doesn't... You need like 2 items to do the lackings of the hero. Like, he can be good, He definitely has a great power curve. He takes Roche really easily, but why not grab just a regular carry like Sven?
And there it is.
It could
As
so
you
much
say that,
easier.
that was actually
I
you
said it.
timed that
No, I
perfectly.
cheated. I mean, I literally looked and I was like Sven.
No,
like,
it came out and you said, all right, I was trying to give you the benefit of the doubt here.
I don't deserve that one.
Okay.
I literally looked and said, hey, they picked Sven, and then I moved it into my sentence.
You know what I really want to talk about? A
Yeah.
waiter last night that we met.
Okay. We don't have a lot of time.
I really
Go
want to
ahead,
transition that.
Go ahead.
I just want to say there was a waiter, and he saw my Zephyr shirt that I was wearing, of course, which you gave me at the Thai place we went, by the way, restricted for Vega Squadron. And he's like, man, you guys are fans of Dota? And I don't remember what he said after. I didn't quite hear him, but he's just like, I really love Zephyr. I'm a huge fan of Zephyr. And he's like looking around the table, and we're like, do you know this guy? We're pointing at Purge.
He didn't. I don't think he knew my face.
No, he didn't. He's like, who's this guy? And they're like, this. Well, they didn't even say that. They're like, no. What happened was like, do you know this guy? You're like, I made the team. I was one of the original 5. And the guy was like, I don't know. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but
And then later on, we're like,
I saw them over there. They were like Googling us on their phone and like looking over once in a while. I was like, they're definitely Googling us.
They were like, we eventually asked for like, do you know who Purge is? He's like, I've heard Purge before. I've watched his videos, and they're like, he's this guy.
Yeah.
The greatest thing also, I don't want to say, I know I shouldn't say it, but I want to say something about Shannon. I'll say it later. Maybe I'll have the balls to actually say it later, but that was just a great time. Those were good people. And the Thai food was great, so shout out to them. But anyways, story's over. Kunkka's going to be picked up by EGM, and then you have the Ember Spirit coming up from no one. This is a very exciting draft. I like the amount of team fight and synergy there is for both sides.
Kunkka versus Ember is pretty good. You can bring him back if he tries to Remnant away, for example. So X is going to be really hard for no one to deal with. He's going to be more limited on his Remnants. You might have to use 2 Remnants to escape instead of just 1, for example. And that means 300 mana instead of 150. So he may have a lot of mana problems in the early game.
Maybe you can pick up a drum because of that, try to get some extra mana pool going his way.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't play Ember Sphere much, so I don't know if I could justify answering that question. But it's definitely a possibility, but then it slows you down in other ways. So there's a lot of stuns on Alliance as well, so maybe he's going to feel like he needs it there. But it looks like it's going to be a... no, he does get a poor man's shield. Looking to block a lot of puck hits, it looks like. But if a support shows up mid, I could see him being in a lot of trouble here.
Poor man's shield's so good. I feel like a lot of times if you're a pub player and you're playing mid, you won't get the poor man's shield, and I feel like you're missing out on a lot of damage blockage, and I think that's very important. And it also gives you a decent amount of agility as well. 2 slippers of agility, you get up to +6, so some extra damage going your way. And we'll see where no one's going to play this out. It looks like Pasha will be in the top lane, no one will be played mid like we discussed. And Solo, the roaming bounty hunter, picks up the early bounty, or rather the early overvenom. Loda is going to be playing the Sven, no surprises there. He picks up 8 tangos, so he's got a lot of regen. Bulldog playing the Sand King in the off-lane position, so Bulldog's hero pool, it's getting pretty vast now, and I'm excited to see how he does play this hero.
I am not a huge fan of offlane Sand King. I think it doesn't work amazing. I think a Sand King plus Dazzle would be really good. I like that a lot, but they're a little limited on melee because they have a melee support on Kunkka, so I don't know how their laning stage is going to go, but Sand King solo offlane is usually not good.
Right.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
There isn't detection on Bane, so hypothetically you can evade ganks with Sandstorm and stuff, but with an Ursa it's kind of scary.
Use the usage of the Stormhammer to come out the illusory orb. They get up a beautiful double core. No one's in trouble. He's got Searing Chains. He'll pop it off. S4 looking for a couple more right clicks. They get both bounty runes. Will they get first blood? He barely survives and will fall to Ake at the end with the poison touch. Now they're going to use the Fairy Fire. Pasha's going to go down as well to a Stormhammer stun and some extra right click. They will pick up the puck, but they're so happy with how this fight is going. Solo going to get chased down. The poison touch. What a great value point for Ake. They have the dust as well. EGM has no mana for the torrent. They need 1 or 2 more right clicks to Fairy Fire. He pops that up and Ake will survive, and Alliance are going to town on Vega. Seema's going to take some right click. He might actually live. Ake's going to come back in with another poison touch. The right clicks from the low ground. They're going to work, and Seema just trying to stay alive. It's so tough, and Seema might actually make it out, but still denying himself to the neutrals will be Ake, and Seema will stay alive. What an amazing fight from Alliance. 2 bounty runes, 3 kills, and only 1 death going their way.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. Interesting to see Poison Touch picked over Shadow Wave, but it does a lot more damage if it only does 1 instance of damage.
It owned that fight.
The 30% slow, it made a really big difference. The Harass will come on S4, but does he even care, man? He's already got probably something coming out. It's just a salve, actually. He's a little bit underfarmed due to that fight, but it helped out his team a lot. There was an instant boost of speed here, actually, for Dazzle picked up.
I'm trying to figure out who got the kills. Ake, EGM, and EGM. So EGM gets off to an amazing start. He's already got his boots. I'm not sure if he bought those first, but...
And he's level 2. Like, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, the X plus the Torrent now available and ready to go. They're going to put some pressure on the top lane. They're even going to get help with Ake, the aggro tri lane, but now mid. Solo going to go to work on S4 again. He's got to lose Europe in phase shift. He'll try to get out. The Janata proc will fly through, and that'll be enough of that. But again, Vega, they do lose a couple of kills early on, but they're farming okay. They're farming effectively. The Darkseer, no surprises, has, of course, the most last hits in the game currently.
Yeah, Puck's definitely going to have a hard mid lane here, but I think that's exactly what Vega needs. They need the Ember Spirit to do well here, because if they didn't have a Bounty Hunter slapping the Puck around, then it would be the Ember Spirit getting slapped around.
They'll rotate EGM to get him some support here mid lane, which I feel like he could use you know, a lot of extra help, but we'll see how that goes.
Kunkka just looks really fast right now. I don't know why. He gets a regen.
Yeah, the regen comes out, which is a beautiful rune for S4. Obviously, no bottle yet. He'd like to have the bottle, but you know he'll be able to get to full mana and HP currently. Bulldog down bottom is played yet again in the solo save lane, and it feels like in almost every game, we talked about this last game, Alliance, aggro duel, aggro try, keep Bulldog solo safe, and this is going to help, I think.
Yeah,
now mid, no one's going to get torn up as well. He's in some trouble. Meanwhile, top lane, nothing happening there. Okay.
Radiant's
Sorry,
middle tower is under
JJ,
attack.
you don't have to apologize to me ever. Pasha's gonna get caught with a poison touch. He'll get out just fine. It looks like one more right click would have done the job with poison touch, but he'll survive, and that'll go.
Yeah, they'll call some salve here, and the crazy part is that Ursa's got so much base strength.
Oh, they've made a
He's not
path.
healed yet.
They made a path through the tree line here.
The path to anti-freedom.
That's right.
AKA death.
The path to a giant Stormhammer in your face down bottom. Bulldog's getting shadowed by a solo. Nothing happening there. We're going to keep the eyes on top as they pop up the Stormhammer. The Torrent will fly through as well. Seema's going to get slowed up. Pasha's trying to go to work with the Overpower and Furious Web. Seema will live. Pasha's going to work on Loda. He has great armor, though, with the War Crush coming out. He's going to get poison touches as well. Ake is just... He's delivering poison like it's his job at this point.
Well, it really is his job, actually. It's pretty straightforward when you play. You got, like, 2 skills. He's only level 2. He just got 2 ways to deliver pain, 3 ways, I guess. But Oloda's going to... Oh, he almost died to Seema just now. Seema came over and he's denied himself to neutrals, and he was cast animation to Brains. If he got that kill, that would have been insane.
That would have been nuts.
How many suicides have we had this game? Quite a few.
2 just for right now, I believe. Still,
there will be more.
All right, if you say so. I don't know if I believe you.
There's a Bane in the game, dude. He's gonna suicide deny
dude,
somebody.
It's a lot harder than you think to do that. I feel like in certain instances.
It's nice that they have a Bane versus a Kunkka though, because you can just Nightmare. Well, it's difficult. You have to predict when they're gonna get hit, but
good point.
You can Nightmare defend somebody.
Sandstorm coming out. Bulldog's level 5. They'll drop the Sentry. They have Iron Shell ready to go. Burrow Strike away. Janata proc will fly. He's got the Orb of Venom. They have the Iron Shell and Solo. They don't want to dive. They would have gotten the kill, but they would have died for it. And they still are farming super effectively for Mag, as he, of course, has 30 last hits, 25 for the mid-no one Ember Spirit. Damn, this guy is just... It's pretty good. He's pretty good at doting, you know?
I mean, the fact that S4 is almost caught up, and Bounty Hunter was basically sitting mid the first, like, 4 minutes is really impressive.
Yeah.
In that same vein. So I think it's a little bit better by S4 at this stage.
Searing Chains will go. S4 is going to take a little bit of damage, but not that much. He's only level 2. He's doing a pretty good job. S4 will be able to bottle up if he needs to. He's got his boots now. The top lane, they've got Vision of Pasha. He's got a Mango for mana if he needs it. He's level 2 Earthshock, which I'm a huge fan of. The ganking style. EGM's looking for an X marks. He's not quite in range, and they will not be able to find the kill. They drop a Sentry as well, but there's no ward there. He, I think, just spotted them out with just Vision. And now Seema will rotate back up top. He's level 3. Looking at experience currently, it seems to be Bane's a little bit low, so is the Dazzle, but still, they're doing a pretty good job here in terms of actual experience and levels. And now there's a TP top. They're going to try to find somebody. And the Nightmare will come out of Seema. The Storm will come through. It'll hit on the two. That's beautifully done. Pasha's going to get caught out. They come through with the right click, and they might find Pasha. He'll be able to make it away, but here comes the Dream Coil. S4 rotates up beautifully. The Earthshock and Overpower both miss. They're going to back away. The Dream Coil about to break. Pasha will go to work for the Overpower, but Loda had popped up his War Cry. And even without it, he's still pretty damn tanky. They'll get a double kill for Ake after rotating 4 heroes up to this top lane. And boy, have they shut down Pasha pretty effectively.
Dude, I love that Ake is playing really aggressively this game. He's read the early game. He's like, we got a bunch of advantage. I can be greedy with my skill points. He doesn't have Grave yet. And I don't really blame him for this. Like, I think Grave is useful, but the second point in Poison Touch now increases his damage by quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's not bad, and the extra slow means that their trialing gets even more advantage.
I mean, this is the point of the aggro trialing, to be able to put this pressure on these heroes, and Poison Touch being used to zone out Pasha and everybody else so effectively. He's done a great job. It's a bit unusual, like you talked about, not having Grave, but still, early on in the game, they can get away with it as they've gotten a couple of kill stops.
Yeah, and I also just like it for the fact that you saw Bane die. Bane died before he brain stepped because they just bursted him so heavily.
Yeah.
And you would normally say, like, what, Sven, Kunkka early game, they bursted? Well, they did. They had a lot of units there. The Shadow Wave, the heals, everything just did enough damage. Bane dies instantly, and that makes the fight so much more straightforward.
Again, Alliance are having a great lane top, but meanwhile, you have plenty of other heroes in the bottom and mid lane doing well. There's good to the brain tap mid, triple remnant comes through to destroy S4, and no one. Now he's a little bit in trouble. This Stormhammer went through, but still he's fine, because the Flame Guard will keep him alive. Top, they're going to catch out EGM. He's in trouble. The Torrent will come through. One more right click, and Solo will be able to find that kill as he's finally rotated up here to help out his allies and friends.
Yeah, bad little moment there for Alliance. That's 3 dead heroes happening. 3? No.
2.
Well, two in a rotation out of a carry. That's not good.
Yeah.
So, kind of bad there for Alliance. They weren't able to get there in time to save the puck. Almost had phase shift. He almost could have dodged the remnants, but it's a bit too much damage there. Great rotations from the supports. It's the best thing to do when you lose your lane or you get killed in your lane. Is you go to another lane where people don't expect you and you set up that kill.
Yeah. And Vega have been farming well, like I talked about. Not only that, they actually have a net worth advantage, albeit very small net worth advantage. It is still a net worth advantage nonetheless. Bulldog is level 7, still waiting to get that usage of the epicenter. He's actually up to 1,000 gold now, so he's getting closer and closer to that point dagger, which might be the game changer here for Alliance. The amount of initiation, team fight, and control they have is pretty absurd. The top lane, they will find a Stormhammer to Pasha. Again, he's got Rage. He might have to use it here. He's got the mana for it as well. The X marks will fly. He'll get brought right back to that point.
Bulldog's going to die bot
the
lane.
trees as well. Pasha will actually survive.
maybe not.
Bulldog down bottom. The last right click. Solo not doing enough damage. The Iron Shell vacuum. He's going to drop the wall. It's not there. He does get the kill. The Shuriken toss will fly, but it'll dive to the tower. Now top lane, no one's going to find Loda. Can he get this kill? Loda in trouble. The Flame Guard doing work, and the last right click comes out. He has double damage, and they're looking for more. EGM, he's got the X marks, and he's going to be spotted in the tree line. The Torrent will fly, and it'll hit just barely onto Pasha. EGM getting chased, ring around the rosy continues, and EGM is going to get some help from Aka. They get up the beautiful Dream Claw onto Pasha. He's still alive, and no one will get a double kill in the meantime. A triple kill. The double damage is insane. The silence will come through. S4 is going to try to make it out. And let's see if he can actually make it away. He's going to actually prevent no one from getting this kill. Now Bulldog will come in. No way at the center, but no one's still in trouble. He's got no mana for the remnant. Last right click, he can't quite get it. They got S4 in the end. They're going to look for Bulldog. Vega has gotten a beautiful team fight with so many rotations top lane, and all the while, no one stays alive just barely with about 75 HP as he walks away.
Man, they're just slightly outplaying Alliance consistently. Those levels on Dazzle really hurt them there. If they had Grave, it could have kept the Sven alive longer. Sven could have gotten more hits on the enemy. I mean, he doesn't have his ultimate yet, but they're just getting outplayed now, and it's not good for them at all.
Solo's going to go back to work on Loda. Shuriken toss. He's just trying to zone him out, and this is before they have track, by the way. He's not even level 5 yet. Can you imagine how much gold they would be getting if they had track at this point?
And they limited levels now. Sven just hit 6, so it's hard for him to even fight. They're going to try to get another kill. I kind of would have liked Bulldog to get maybe one more point into his ultimate here as well. Like, imagine how different that fight might have been if you could have burrow epi'd somebody. Like, there's not that many stuns on Vega there. I feel like they could have gotten a kill. They almost killed Ember Spirit, for example.
Yeah, that would have been a huge pickup for them, but Vega continues to...
Yeah, if the early game is this fight heavy, just skip one level of Burrow Strike, in my opinion, and get one epi. I feel like that's justified.
God's Strength will come out, and this Tier 1 tower will inevitably fall. They'll pick up the Aegis as Ursa is able to do Roche within seconds. I didn't see him in the pit, and there it is. And they've also picked up the mech at 10 minutes in. This Darkseer was farming so well, he wasn't even involved in a lot of the fights top lane. In fact, he didn't even TP in. Oh, God, Vega are in a very good spot right now.
Yeah, because a lot of Alliance's damage is AoE based. Obviously, at some point, Sven will hit really hard to single targets, but for now, if you're dealing with Sand King, Epicenter, Torrent Boat, Puck, it's going to hit everybody about evenly. So having a mech to be able to just soak up and counter that damage means that Vega is going to be winning more and more team fights. But the thing Alliance has going for them is that they do have in some ways the better carry. Like Sven is going to scale a lot better than an Ursa will, and Ursa just seems like he's getting kited a lot right now, and I don't see that stopping, because Ursa's advantage is really early game, mid game. So if he keeps getting kited like he has been and disabled like he has been, he's never really going to carry.
Well, it's kind of interesting. I feel like both heroes have that same problem. Sven is notoriously known to get kited as well without a BKB or a Blink Dagger.
But the difference is look at the heroes Vega has. They've got Grip and Searing Chains and a little bit of slow out of Ursa and
Vacuum maybe.
But and those things are kind of irrelevant, but it's not everything. Right. So I feel like Alliance is definitely got a little bit better carry potential. With that said, there's also Ember Spirit, and Ember's having a really good game. He is going for the drum, by the way.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And he got treads, and it paid off so hard in the early game when he had that DD.
Yeah.
His damage was incredible.
Yeah, his damage was nuts. He got a triple kill, and no one continues to provide the most net worth in the game. Is up to 5,000. The Blink Dagger is now done. A kill onto no one would be absolutely game-changing. No wards have been popped up with Solo heading down to the bottom jungle. He actually doesn't have any. He's going to buy some. No one's going to come into the tree line. Loose Europe, they won't catch him out. He'll be able to remnant across the river back to his side of the map. And Vega will continue to have him farm. So I feel like, though, the problem is that they really need Alliance to get a little bit caught up here with Lotus Farm, and he's going to be able to do so with a couple of stacks in the jungle. He's going to be going for a drum, and he's almost got it here momentarily. Just needs that recipe coming in. It's going to be Solo. They have no detection on the ground. There's a Scepter available for Ake. He might be in trouble. The Janna, the track comes out. They have the Shuriken toss. It is level 3. It will do a lot of damage. Meanwhile, mid, they get the Torrent, the boat off. No one will avoid it, but still in trouble. He'll remnant away. He'll make it out in time. The grip coming out of the Loda. The right-click Loda will inevitably fall here to Pasha. One more break. Good job. He gets the Stormhammer off. There's the double burst strike coming out. Bulldogs does not have epicenter, and they're just about to get Noah. The last strike, I think he'll stay alive. I think he can get a poor man shield proc coming out. And he'll stay up and ready to go. A double kill coming from Pasha, and he's looking for that triple. S4, he's got phase shift in one. He'll lose your about, but he will not get away as Pasha chases him down with that kill. And they're looking for even more EGM. The track's up. The Janata proc, the Torrent will come through. Solo will not dodge it, but still they have help coming in. They're looking for the Shuriken, and they'll find it with the track, of course. They get the vision, and 4 dead for Alliance. What a fight. Keeping everybody alive. That mech was game-changing for Darkseer.
Yeah, they kept Ember Spirit alive. He gets out. I thought Alliance was looking okay there, but they re-engaged with Burrow Strike. Bulldog was tracked, and he was just sitting there in a sandstorm, and eventually he did get attacked. I feel like they're just making some really crucial errors, and again, he still doesn't have Epicenter.
Right.
I can't, this build just seems so dangerous, because if they're fighting this much, there's going to be periods of time where you're constantly just fighting. If your fights go badly, you don't level up. It's kind of like what happened to Ake in the early laning stage. You got 2 Poison Touch, you got 2 Shadow Wave, and then the next fight, he hadn't gotten levels since then, and then he doesn't have Grave, and they lose a fight or get a lot of less advantage because he doesn't have Grave. Then in this fight, Bulldog's like, oh, I want to go as efficient into farming as possible. 4-4-0-0. And then he's like, oh, well, I could have really used Epicenter. Like, he actually could have used Epicenter twice now. He could have used it once top versus the Ember Spirit, and he could use it once mid there. And it could have completely changed the game. But because they went for max farm efficiency, or max efficiency in lane, they didn't think of the bad situations. They just said, oh, it's fine, we can get a kill with just Burrow Strike in.
And now they are very far behind. 7,500 almost net worth going the way of Vega, and they continue to dominate this game. This has been an impressive display of fortitude coming out from the Vega Squadron lineup, and they're looking for even more. The Tier 1 tower, it's going to be taken down here pretty soon. The question is, though, can Alliance defend it? They have 2 already in the tree line, ready to go with Dream 12. The Remnant through. They should reply. The Epicenter getting channeled up as well. They're going to find Pasha. The Enrage comes out, though, and he's got the edges. It does no damage. He's backing wall. Onto 3. The boat will come through. It'll keep them alive. The Shadow Wave goes through as well. The buyback from the puck. Did he Remnant in? No, he did not. Now the grip comes down on Aka. They're going to get a triple kill for Noah. He's about to get another one. 4 dead. And S4 might die back. He's already losing Europe. The brain tap, he can't phase shift it as well. And the Earth Shock, and a double kill for Pasha. This game is getting out of hand, Purge.
It's so out of hand. Like, they've got good disables, but they're just sending in Ember Spirit first. He's just so strong right now. He's got 1,200 HP. He's got a huge mana pool. He can just jump in and do whatever he wants. Like, he's not going to die to burst damage from Alliance, basically. Like, Loda's in a position, due to their aggressive tri-lane, where they just don't have physical damage. The only damage Alliance has is some magic burst. And not only does no one have a lot of HP due to his treads, drum, Aquila build, but he's also got, you know, a skill that gives him 500 magic absorb. He's essentially a 1,700 HP hero right now, and Alliance doesn't even have close to enough burst damage. He's read this game and been like, yep, this is a drum treads game. I'm just going to chase him down. I'm going to create tons of space in the team fight for my team, and then my team is just going to clean up. And that's exactly what he does.
Yeah, I mean, they have cleaned up in so many different ways. At this point, they are just dominating. They have
did the
top
dishes.
3 network. Oh yeah, they
cleaned out. They cleaned out the fridge, man. All that old food that nobody uses. Bulldog's just gonna die.
Tracked up. The brain sap will fly. He does get the grave off. Here comes the boat. They'll find Solo. Finally, a kill going the way of Alliance. Can they get more is the question. Keeping out is going to be Seema, but the Dream Coil is committed to find his kill, and he will get picked up here. And that is a nice little bit going the way of Alliance. The problem is that they are down 12,000 net worth.
Dude, those 2 kills gave a 2k gold swing. That's how far they're behind.
And they're both supports.
And it's trash.
And they're going to find no one with the silence. Can they bring him down? X marks. The Torrent's going to fly through. He'll remnant out as the Torrent was about to hit, and as the X mark was about to bring him out, he is the real target they want. He's the real bounty that they need to get.
It kind of looked like the X doesn't work if you're flying through Fire Remnant.
Yeah.
If you're flying through it, you don't, which is weird because it works against some things.
It works like against everything, I feel like.
Well, no. Glimpse and X are kind of similar looking, but they don't quite work the same. If you're ball lightning or you're, I don't know if that's right to say. If you're doing ball lightning and you're doing Fire Remnant, if you jump into it, then Glimpse brings you back to X.
Jump in, Jim's going to get caught. He's going to die almost instantly. Aka will fall as he pops to the grave. There's going to be a great epicenter.
Oh, this is good.
Get off the illusory. They'll get two. Big pick up from the line. So no one's going to jump in now, but Loda's already pretty low. They need a Stormhammer. They just won't find it. They'll pick up yet another kill, and Loda will fall immediately. And S4, he's got Dream Flow in 4 seconds. No one. He's pretty tanky, all things considered, in posture. Well, he doesn't have the Aegis anymore. Bulldog's going to come through. He doesn't have the mana for a Burrow Strike. They will at least get 2 kills out of that, and the big one was the Dark, but S4 getting jumped on. Big breath will fly as the Dream Kill comes in, and Vega continue to pound away at the corner lineup of Alliance.
Oh, man, their ability to be aggressive is just so high here, especially with the Blink Dagger. They tried to initiate with the X, but the Blink came out from Ursa. They went on the Kunkka instead, and that's sort of the fight. And once that team fight burst isn't there, the fight changes massively, because Kunkka's so important, man. He does, like, what is this, like 600, 700 magic burst and an AoE, and it might be a single target, but it might be an AoE as well. That's most of their damage right now, other than the epicenter, and they keep forcing good fights for Vega. That is, they initiate on one of the weak supports and try to kill him with Ursa. Ursa's actually really paying off now. He started the game like 0-3-2. He's 8-5-3 right now. Like, Pasha has completely come back here.
It really came out with that he just picked up the Roche, which got him a lot of experience in gold, because he did it solo. And he's up to 2,300. He's got a Blink Dagger now. He's got most of his early game items. They'll find an Aether Lens coming up for the bandits. But what other items do Vega have that, because they have that luxury? There's almost a Battle Fury coming up from no one. There's going to be a pipe coming here pretty soon from Solo. We've already talked about the mech at Great Lengths. Now even a Blink Dagger on Mag as well. This is just an absurd amount of farm in comparison to Alliance. Alliance are no slouches, and Vega is absolutely just decimating them this game.
Yeah. I mean, insane. Alliance can still win. They've got Sven. I don't like his skill build at all, though. He's actually very low on the Great Cleave. He's only got 2 points in it. He went for 3 Stormhammer. I like maxing out Warcry, especially against an Ursa and an Ember Spirit. That part's really good because he can give his team 20 armor. That's going to help out a lot in the early fights. But he's going to limit his damage here. His Cleave could be a bit better. I mean, I guess it's okay considering that his Cleave level, like his damage isn't super high. So increasing Cleave levels maybe don't matter.
Right,
Chuck just died bottom.
I guess there was a hero there. I mean, I didn't see it, but at some point there was a hero in that vicinity before getting probably deleted off the map by Pasha's right click.
Puck's dieback basically messed up his whole game because he doesn't have Blink Dagger still. And he probably lost a couple hundred gold. Not to mention the fact that he died twice there, so I'm sure he lost a lot from his dieback.
There are still 2 Tier 2 towers left. It is 19 minutes in this game, but I feel like Alliance are hanging on by a thread. That is how this game is going for Vega. That is how good it's been. And they are not going to be, it's not going to be easy, ever easier really at this point for Alliances. They are still far behind. There's going to be a Battle Fury coming up for the Ember Spirit. I think Ursa probably picked up something. It's a full BKB coming out here momentarily. I mean, they have trouble killing him without a BKB. You imagine getting a BKB and trying to bring a hero down that has Enrage?
Yeah, he's going the entirely old standard build. Phase into Vlad's Blink and BKB. Totally standard build, but there's a reason it was so popular. Because Vega knows that they're going to fight a lot early. They've got a Bounty Hunter, so they're going to be able to give armor to everybody. Bounty's not going to have to buy. He doesn't have to buy Mask of Madness. He doesn't have to chance the game. He's just going to be strong and tanky and great for his team as a whole. And the Vlads will help.
Yeah, Pasha's done a great job so far. The BKB will come out. There's the Hooded Defiance. They're looking for that pipe. Alliance are going to smoke up. They're going to head to the pit. It's not up yet. It's a really low, or really extremely long duration, rather. It's almost a full roast duration. I think, in fact, it is 11 minutes.
They put the ward down. They see Ursa, by the way.
Yeah, they know where
if they
he
can
is.
X him, he dies.
They can maybe get in. Can they get this kill is the question. They just don't have blinks for a couple of these heroes.
I think they were hoping Ursa would blink into Roche, maybe.
He's about to. He's going to walk right in, and here we go. Burrow Strike will fly. They're about to get the Stormhammer as well. The Torn action is the ghost will fly through. Oh, caught now. There's light coming out. They get off a beautiful wall, and Pasha continues just to go to work with the BKB getting caught up. And it looks like Alliance haven't lost it again, but here comes the grip. A great epicenter onto 3. Can they get this kill? Torn onto a couple. No one gets back in, and even though that was an amazing initiation from Bulldog, they cannot get it done. And the only hero to fall is going to be the Bane, and Vega will take Roche yet again, and this time at Aegis. going to Pasha once more.
Man, Mag absolutely saved that there. It was a slight. Oh, they might be able to get no one.
And they didn't. I don't know if they have the jam. Maybe low. There's the sleight of fist. They're going to clean up both of them. Godlike spree coming up beyond Godlike spree, rather, for Pasha. And S4, the lone survivor. He's got a loser orb in 3. He actually might stay alive, but no, the Centaur sees him. The Centaur will hit, and Solo will get the kill with the Shuriken toss. It is a 5-man wipe at Alliance. At this point, there is not much they can do. They are currently down almost 20,000 in net worth, and it continues to be one of the biggest routes I've seen.
The fight was looking so good, but Alliance had a very small mistake there. EGM tried to skill shot the Torrent, and it actually missed the Ursa. They would have had an extra 300 damage against the Ursa, and Ursa might have died there. If they kill the Ursa, they can win the fight. But because they didn't quite kill the Ursa, and Meg had that amazing counter initiation, where, by the way, he vacuumed them onto a wall. Then the boat came in and killed all the illusions, which meant they took 2 rounds of Wall of Replica damage. Like, he just wrecked them there. Mag played that so well. It was a great idea by Alliance to wait for the Ursa to walk into the Roche pit, but they had to kill him in that initial burst, and if they didn't, they were going to lose that fight.
I mean, this is the problem with, I think, Kunkka does okay damage, but I just don't know if Torrent's really the best nuking ability, and it's not, obviously Shadow is very good, Dazzle's not really the issue. I just feel like they need maybe a different support here to provide that damage in order to take down these tankier heroes on Vega's side. I'm not sure if it's going to be...
I don't think it's that, it's just they're really far behind. And maybe they're too reliant on magic bursts, but they should have won more of those early fights, perhaps.
This game's not over yet, and Loda is going to be BKB. If he gets off a God Strength and they get off a big team fight ultimate from both Bulldog as well as EGM, there is a chance they get back into this game. It is not great. Now Mac's going to get caught with the Burrow Strike. S4's going to come in with the Dream Coil. He's going to just neck up. The Vacuum will come through. They'll drop the wall as well. The Fiend's Grip Bulldog. And after Burrow Striking, he's just trying to find a kill. He's paid for his sins. So he'll go down to the Iron Shell and the Brain Sap covering up for the Bane. They're looking for more. Little will TP away, and EGM will try to do the same at this point. It looks like everybody will get out, but again, Alliance are just... It's tough. They just, even with an initiation like that, there's no way they can kill Mag at that situation.
Yeah, they would have had an epicenter for it, and I just don't think they were quite ready. Does Puck have Blink? Yeah, he still doesn't have Blink. He's got 1,600 gold. If your mid just doesn't have Blink Dagger, how do you do this? He's going to get caught here.
That's 4. He'll be able to loose your away. The Shuriken Toss will bounce to EGM. They're looking for a vac. No wall. Remnant in. Goes to supply to try to keep them alive with the run coming through EGM. And of course, Aka's going to grave himself and try to TP out. He actually is going to be successful. Unfortunately, EGM is not going to be so lucky. And now they dive at Tier 1 Tower because they can. There's no reason not to. They're so far away in ahead that it's ridiculous just for them to not go for these kills. And they will pick up the Tier 1 Tower. And Loda's not even able to split push himself and get that Tier 1 Tower bottom instead of that full health.
So they're going to have Pipe. They're making a Crimson Guard next for Bounty Hunter. Actually, I played against a Bounty support the other day that fought Vanguard. It was really tough to deal with because he just had so much more HP than I was expecting. And he was quite resistant to damage. So just very survivable. He's got tons of magic resistance. These 2 items together are going to make all the teamfight items and give Bounty all this teamfight that the hero normally doesn't have and make it even harder for Alliance to get kills. If you're behind and your opponents just tank up, you just win the game because you know that your opponents can't kill you with their initial burst of skills, and you will be able to kill them with your burst.
It's our courier, but EGM has already been destroyed, and so will Aka as he already used the grave up onto his fellow Alliance member to support. Of course, now they're going to get up another S4 Dream Coil coming through, but it's just not enough. The boat will come out, and Pasha might get hit up with it. It's just not nearly enough damage. The TP came through, I think, as getting back to the base was Bulldog, but he can't quite make it there in time. He's going to channel the epicenter, and he's going to come through. He's going to find 2. Simon may very well fall putting that in. They come out with the Guardian Greaves. They get off a great silence. They're getting pretty low here on Vega, but they get off the grip now. Unloaded with God's Strength. They're just trying to do anything, and it's not enough. And it looks like this might be it. Bulldog's going to get caught. Pasha with Momoa right close to get the job done, but the Torrent will come through, and he's actually able to get away. And of course, Loda has no buyback. He's dead for 40 seconds. No one will continue to pressure. Remnant out. The Burrow Strike does not hit. No one will stay alive. The Tier 3 tower will inevitably fall. And Vega will continue to try to push this game into a GG stage.
I'm quite surprised the Alliance hasn't given up yet, but they haven't lost to Rax yet. I think they're a team that tries really hard, and you're going to see them play like this at Shanghai as well. But even that death right there, the track is so important. It makes Sand King pretty much worthless as an initiator here. And there's the call. Like, it's just, they're so far behind. The grip on the BKB stun, like, that was the item they've been waiting for, and it was just rendered completely useless by Bane. And not only that, Ursa could still kill him through it. Like, they had a good counter with Warcry, but Loda had to be at least, like, equal in farm. So, an amazing, I'm not going to necessarily say an upset, but Alliance, when they played the one, I'm sorry, it was EG that played Vega, excuse me, but Vega is definitely one of the best teams in Europe right now. I think that's fairly safe to say. They maybe had a little bit of a slump around the Frankfurt Major, but they are clearly extremely talented, and I can't wait to see how they do at Shanghai.
Yeah, and they're going to go even further on. Now they're going to be in the, I believe, winners bracket finals coming through. I think that's the next round, and it is. And they are going to be playing up against EG in that best-of-3 series. That's going to be exciting. Vega with an outstanding performance coming out. That is really, really impressive stuff coming through. So great game from them. Alliance, they have another chance, maybe an uncharacteristic game. They lose their first series in such a long time, since about the beginning of Starlight or even before that.